electrifying sport on the planet. Mixed martial arts. You've been looking for the definitive podcast to call your new home to hear everything about it. The search is over. This is the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. Bringing you the hottest MMA breakdowns straight from the heart of the octagon. This show is all about MMA breakdowns. For fans, by fans. We're talking UFC, MMA, and the occasional big boxing match. We'll bring our unique take on how these fights are going to play out and who we think are the best bets. Welcome to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. And now your hosts, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and Emiliano, a.k.a. Jive Turkey Nano.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live.
Let's go, folks. Welcome back to another episode of the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. I'm your host, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly. With me, as always, is the co-host with the most. You know who I'm talking about, folks. We're talking about Jive Turkey Nano. How we doing,
Let's
Nano?
Go. Doing great, brother. Great to see you on this Thursday, a.k.a. Friday Junior. We are live and we are jiving, baby. I'm excited, man. 305, some great cards to cover. We are going to a land down under. Heading over to Australia, baby. Can't wait to dive on in with you, brother. Great to see you.
Go. Great to see you as well, man. And you're not lying. This card is stacked, in my opinion. We got UFC 305 in here tonight, folks. We are here to talk about more than just Dricus du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya. We are going to talk about this entire card, top to bottom, bottom to top. You know how we rock. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump on into the very bottom of the early prelims. You know we're talking about Stuart Nickel coming in against Jesus Aguilar. Nano, we got a tale of two flyweights coming into this one to start off the show. In my opinion, flyweights are extremely exciting to watch fight, if for no other reason, simply because they make me feel very slow and out of shape. Constantly throwing just barrages of punches and kicks. Is there anything specific you're going to be looking for in this one?
Definitely going to be a fun one. Like you said, some smaller guys, let's say, in terms of the spectrum here, in terms of the weight classes, but they will not lack in skills, ladies and gentlemen. This will be a really fun fight. They put it as the first one for a reason. If you do remember our boy, Jesus Santos Aguilar, coming off a fantastic win 2 wins ago, actually. His last win was, last knockout, over Shannon Ross was an absolute walk-off. I'm talking one-hit quitter. I guess 2-hit quitter if you consider one punch to the dome and one to when his head hit the floor. But all jokes aside, very, very tough fighter, has that one-punch power. The reality is he is going up against a Stuart Nickel, fighting in his backyard in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. So what is that? You're going to have that hometown advantage? We'll have to wait and see. He is undefeated, but he is also making his UFC debut. So I do have some questions, brother. I am looking at the line as we speak and seeing the veteran in the UFC who is also Mexican. I have family from Mexico. I mean, come on. You know, I'm gonna lead you right on into this one. Si se puede. Plus 114. I mean, I'll tell you what, ladies and gents. Or plus 190, excuse me. I was looking at the under 2.5 at plus 114. Plus 190. Crazy. They're talking crazy. It's a crazy line, y'all. I'm leaning Jesus Aguilar here. I'm leaning an underdog to kick off this badass 305. I don't know, man. Talk me off the ledge, brother. What are you thinking? Is this am I talking crazy?
Well, I mean, you're typically talking crazy. Let's just keep it honest here, man. You are the Jive Turkey. But I digress. I'm actually thinking crazy with you, my friend. I'm thinking Jesus Aguilar might be the play here. He is a dog. Plus 190 odds. I think we might have to build ourselves a little prelims to early prelims underdog parlay across the day. At least everyone we agree on. I think we got to lock that in. Money line plus 190. I'll go ahead and lock it in. Just gonna not sprinkle too much on there. I do want to say that since coming off of his win over Erison Ferreira via guillotine choke just 1 minute and 53 seconds into round number 3 on Dana White's Contender Series, our guy Jesus Aguilar, he's looked very slick going 2-1 in the UFC out of his 3 bouts, with his only loss coming by way of triangle armbar to Tatsuro Taira. Again, it was in the first round, 4 minutes and 20 seconds in, 420 players out, dude. But I digress. If your only loss in the UFC is to Tatsuro Taira, who might be one of the most gifted flyweights in the roster currently, I don't think that's a huge blemish, folks. So, yeah, I'm going to put my money on Jesus Aguilar. We might have to do like a little fifth of a uni on a little mini parlay, or maybe a multi-pick parlay. Moving into the next one, we got Song Kenan coming in against Ricky Glenn. That's right, folks. It's your 2 favorite characters from Walking Dead. If they combine names, we're talking Rick and Glenn. Coral! No, all jokes aside, folks, this is going to be a banger, okay? Because both of these guys do like to throw down. Ricky Glenn, however, is somebody that he's had kind of a falling from grace, right? Ricky the Gladiator Glenn is somebody I used to genuinely be very excited to watch fight. Every time he'd go in there, I knew it was going to be a good fight. I'm talking back in the Gavin Tucker days, back in the Miles the Fury Jury days, back in the Dennis Bermudez days. But man, he's had losses since then to Kevin Aguilar, Christos Giagos, and Drew Dober. And 2 out of 3 of those were knockout losses in the very first round. So I am a bit concerned, especially considering Song Kenan was able to rock Paddy Pimblett. Or no, Ian Gary. I confuse those two sometimes. But yeah, he was able to rock Ian Gary, if I remember correctly. And I mean, that doesn't really bode well for a Ricky Glenn in this fight. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. I mean, Ian Gary was able to put the guy away, but it was not until 4 minutes and 22 seconds into round number 3 against Sung the Assassin Kenan. As much as I like the Gladiator, I think I might have to lean towards the Assassin in this one. I'm shying away from a bet, though. Talk me off a ledge here, Nano. What are you thinking, my guy?
I love it, brother. Yeah, I think I'm agreeing with you in the sense of maybe staying away from it from a DraftKings perspective, from a betting perspective. May not want to touch this one, y'all, because it is a close one, right? We do got 2 absolute dogs going in there. Kenan Song, someone we've seen in the octagon for a long time. Like you mentioned, coming off some tough losses, right? He did lose to a Max Griffin. He did lose to an Ian Gary. Both were by KO or TKO. How is he going to look now at 34 years old? I guess is maybe the very tail end of that quote-unquote prime. And as someone that's as decorated as a Kenan Song, I'm going to lean into the idea that experience is going to give him enough of an advantage when it comes to finding a pathway to victory. Okay, I do think that sitting there at 21 wins, 8 losses, 9 KOs, 9 subs, very well-rounded Kenan Song. And as much as I do appreciate both their nicknames for that matter, but Ricky the Gladiator Glenn at 35 years old, 22-8 record, 12 KOs, 3 subs, very similar, even when it comes to their actual apex and everything, like similar reach, similar striking accuracy, similar striking landed per minute, virtually identical, as Goldberg would say. But when you look at their track record, you got the Gladiator coming in here and certainly dying on his shield much more often than our boy Kenan Song. 2 losses back-to-back, one of them to Drew Red Rover Sandober on over. A draw to Grand Dawson. Thank you. You know, and I think all to say at this stage in their career, both on the back 9 for us golfers, might appreciate that. But he is training with Team Alpha Male. So I'm going to hopefully, I guess, root for a really close fight, root for a fan-friendly fight. But I'm going to lean the betting favorite here at Kenan Song at minus 192. But to your point, I am probably staying away from it altogether because that is razor thin. And you don't want to mess around in this sport. Anything can happen. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Ricky, the Gladiator, somehow found a way to come out victorious. However, my vote is with Canal Song. Just seeing it a little bit more, I feel a little more comfortable there.
And before we completely move on from this fight, Nano, I got to ask you one question that I do think is worth bringing to light. This is Ricky Glenn's first fight at welterweight, to my knowledge. I mean, possibly ever, but at the very least in a very long time. His other fights have been at lightweight, so he is going up in weight class. Do you think that maybe the weight cut, I mean, as you said, they have the same ape index, the same height, like virtually identical builds, but one guy used to cut 15 more pounds. So do you think that that plays a difference? Like we've seen Dustin Poirier come up in weight and have a completely different career trajectory.
It's a good point. Ricky's, I would say, more wiry than he is of a muscular stature. But with that being said, maybe he will look better, right? Sometimes that extra 10 pounds can definitely help, especially as you age, right? He's now 35 years old. He's not 27 anymore. So maybe just getting down to that weight cut was just a bit much. Maybe he's one of those tweeners where having more weight classes might help someone like him, where he can just, cruise on in at like a cruiser 160 or something. I'm sure you wouldn't mind that, 165. I digress. All to say, Kenan Song, there's similar builds. And with that same logic, it boils down to the skills. And I just think Kenan Song is going to come to the table with a little bit more of a better skill set. Game plans, I think, will be even. Anything can happen. That's why I could even maybe see a split decision win here. But I do think Song will get it done. It's a good question though, brother. I don't know if you feel any different than I do. What are your thoughts?
No, I do think that it'll bode well for him. I do think he'll probably carry the weight a little bit better than he did at lightweight. He'll probably look a little bit healthier. But it's tough because he's going against somebody that is really good in Song Kenan. And again, somebody that was able to rock an Ian Machado Gary that is fairly elusive on the feet. So my question is, from a betting perspective, do you think that it goes over 1.5 as Vegas does? It's currently sitting at minus 160. I think it does go over 1.5. I think Ricky Glenn doesn't get knocked out in the first round as a result of going up in weight class. He has a little bit more meat on the bones, a little bit more cushion around the chin.
I agree with that. Yeah, neither of them are necessarily huge finish fighters, I would say, although they do have some subs and some KOs under their belt.
I suspect fighters.
Yeah, not as often. More often than not, they're getting a decision. So I'm gonna lean certainly over the 1.5 there, or yeah.
I think I'm gonna throw that on the random parlay that I'm throwing together. Why not? It increases the odds significantly. We're up to plus 371 currently. Moving into fight number 3, folks. We got Tom Nolan coming in against Alex Reyes. Nano, I'll let you take the lead on this one. In this lightweight bout between a 24-year-old and a 37-year-old, I have a sneaking suspicion that I know which way you're leaning.
Definitely a great lead in there, my brother. You are right. I am going to lean the younger dog here. Not, as always. No, not just because he's the younger guy, but Tom Big Train Nolan coming in here, finding his backyard of Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. I'm excited for what's to come for this up and coming fighter. 2-1 in the UFC and Dana White Contender Series. Again, only 24 years young, 7-1 record, 5 KOs. He's got all the goods, man. I don't know why they made this matchup. You're looking at an Alex Reyes at 37 years old, 13-4 record, 9 KOs, 4 subs. That is a 100% finish rate. Dude's a finisher, okay? But he's also lost twice, and those were by KO. So I don't think this one will need the judges at all. I know we're talking about overs. Take the under most likely here. Nobody's someone might go 9-9, okay? But with that being said, Alex Reyes at 37 years old, that is a concern, right? At 13 years older than his opponent. Not to mention, he did lose back in 2013 in September. So I guess almost a year ago now. Before that, his last fight was against Mike Perry, and he lost to him back in 2017. So you tell me if that 7-year gap is good or not. That is before COVID ever happened. That is a time period where a lot has changed. I was trying to think of something pop culture, but a long time ago. Okay, all to say, I'm taking the young guy here. I think he's just better skilled, in a better position here. He's sitting there at a 6'3", Tom Nolan, big train by how he got the name. Although he's not going to necessarily have much of a reach advantage necessarily. Just going to look much more bigger and staggering. I'm assuming going to be heavier when he goes in there. Everything's leaning for me to hop aboard this big train. But what are your thoughts, brother? And do you think the age or essentially 1 year and then a 7-year gap, so one fight within a 7-year window, is that concern you at all, being 37 years old? Talk to me, brother.
Well, first of all, great breakdown, man. I mean, look, you know me. I love the old dog. I mean, I love the old dog. Okay, but I digress. My friend. This is one where it is simply hard to bet on the old dog here. You're talking about Tom Nolan being a minus 1,200 favorite, biggest favorite on the entire effing card, folks. I mean, this is Chris Cyborg versus a can level favorite. It's kind of disrespectful to his opponent, but with all due respect, as you said, such a lengthy layoff for Alex Reyes. It's tough, man. The executioner. Yeah. I mean, he has just not had a ton of activity. Has not had a ton of activity and just has a slew of canceled fights. Nasrat Hopcross, Trevor P, Natan Levy, to name a few. The man, it's tough. I don't want to bet against a man that hasn't been in there that much. But at the same time, he's been knocked out 3 times. He's gone to decision 1 time in his career and lost that. It would be hard pressed to bet on him. Meanwhile, standing across from him, you got big train Tom Nolan fighting out of Team Compton Training Center. I mean, dude got his shine on the Contender Series. Since then, came in, made his UFC debut against Nicholas Mota. Not an easy outing. Got taken out by a right cross, followed up by a barrage of ground strikes. And that was just 1 minute and 3 seconds into round number 1. But after that, he came back in. He showed resilience. He showed the ability to bounce back under the bright lights against Victor Martinez. And he ended up getting a round 1 finish of his own with a knee, followed by a barrage of ground strikes of his own. So, yeah, I mean, I think not only does Tom Big Train Nolan get it done, but I think he probably gets it done inside the distance in this one. Again, I think he'd be hard-pressed to even make this guy take you to decision. His first 2 fights were decision wins. Every win since then and his loss since then is, for the most part, round 1 fights. He's had 1 fight go to the second round. And that was a while ago against Adam Cook in 2022. So I think Tom Nolan inside the distance is probably a safe bet here. And Tom Nolan money line is an even safer bet, which is why it's fucking minus 1,200.
But not a smart one. I think the smarter bet, or the only bet you want to make here, ladies and gents, is probably the under 1.5, sitting at minus 315 on DraftKings. If you're going to touch this at all, maybe you sprinkle that in because maybe you just want to see a quick and dominant victory. Saying that he is already a minus 1,200 favorite to win money line. I guess that's how you validate that at minus 315. If you're questioning anything, I think that's a good one.
Even that one, I mean, the odds aren't juicy enough for me to step on that landmine, so to speak. They didn't lay the trap well enough to get me in there. I'll just say that. Moving into the next one, folks, we are moving right along. We are in the prelim card now. So the first fight on the preliminaries is Jack Jenkins coming in against Herbert Burns. That's right, Little Burns of the Burns brothers, not to be confused with the Blues brothers. I'm just going to do a quick breakdown on this one, and I'm just going to keep it completely real here, folks. I really like Gilbert Burns. I think he is an absolute beast. But Herbert Burns has showed that he can quit in there in the octagon, right? And Jack Jenkins, I mean, the guy's nickname, it's Phar, Phar. I don't know what that means. I should have looked that up. But either way, his real nickname should be the fucking Leg Reaper, okay? Because he's had like 4 or 5 stoppages via leg kick in his career. Dude is an absolute monster when it comes to the kicks. And I would not be surprised if we see another one. In his last fight against Chepe Mariscal, who we just saw on Saturday, he had a pretty unfortunate situation happen where he had an arm injury. He had to literally verbally tap out. That sucks. But again, he's going in there against a Herbert Burns who has 8 submission wins, 3 TKO KO losses, 1 TKO KO win, and he's 50-50 when it comes to decisions. He's 2-2 there. Meanwhile, Jack Jenkins has lost 1 time via TKO, won 5 times via TKO, 3 wins by submission, 2 losses by submission, and 4 wins by decision. So I think if this goes to decision, and as long as he can avoid getting submitted early while both bodies are dry, I got Jack Jenkins near, far, wherever you are, with his nickname. You know what I'm saying? So, look, 2 things. 1, I think Jack Jenkins wins this fight everywhere it goes. And 2, I think he should definitely change his nickname to the Leg Reaper, or the Leg Thief, or something related to stealing people's fucking ability to walk. Nano! Who you got, brother?
I like it. The crippler or something, maybe just something regarding him taking out your legs, like you said there. No, great breakdown, brother. I'll just kind of reiterate what you mentioned. I think as much as I love and appreciate a Gilbert Burns, I can't say as much about his younger brother here. I just don't think he's as good of a fighter. And I think when it comes to just both these guys in terms of their skill sets, momentum, what I've seen in the octagon, Jack Jenkins here, fine out of Melbourne, Australia, in his backyard. It's tough to go against him, right? I mean, he's at a minus 750 favorite right now, Jack Jenkins. And I think the only reason why perhaps Tom Nolan is a higher favorite is because Herbert Burns is a good jiu-jitsu artist. He's a legit specialist down there. So there is a slim chance he could take out an ankle or a leg or a limb of some sort. So Jack's going to have to be smart, but he should take care of business here. He's coming in 3-1 in the UFC. Like you said, with that loss to Chepe, which we'll just take with a grain of salt. But this is his time to shine. I do think we'll expect a good outing from our boy Jack Jenkins. If not, I guess I'll unfortunately be doing a shot next week with you. But yeah, man, I mean, short and sweet, you hit the nail on the head. I think stylistically, I think Jack will be patient enough, and he has such heavy hands and legs, like leg kicks. He should be able to take you out. Oh, and the nickname, Phar. It comes from a legendary Australian racehorse from the 1930s, Phar Lap, who won a host of big races during his career, including the Melbourne Cup. Looked it up while you're doing your explanation.
I love it. Absolutely love it, man. Great. He is a racehorse. So if you want a safe padded bet, I think if you're even the least bit worried about Herbert Burns going out there and getting a submission, you go fight does not go the distance. You get that at minus 650 right now. Do you think, should we add that to our little parlay we're cooking?
Say that again. Which one?
Fight does not go the distance. Minus 650.
Minus 650. Under 1.5 on that's minus 115.
Oh, you think it's going to be that quick?
I am so uninspired by our boy Jack Herbert Burns coming in with 3 losses, TKOs all in the second round. I mean, man, it's like it's right there. It's in the second round. It's like Right, one and some change.
Hold on. I'm looking at the alternative total rounds here. Oh, I mean, I'd feel safer doing under 2.5 for minus 330.
There you go. If you want to play it safe.
Usually I don't, but I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't want to get fucked here. Oh man.
I mean, again, it's like same logic with that last one, right? Where it's minus 1,200 favorite for under. It was at minus 315. Jack Jenkins is a minus 750, just about as close of a lock as you can get. And under 1.5 minus 115. I mean, it'd have to be Jack Jenkins being really patient. I mean, I guess. I mean, even most of his TKOs are in the second round.
All right, we're gonna pour a shot right now, folks. We're gonna pour the first shot of the night, and we are going to figure this one out because with the under 2.5, okay, that puts us at minus 514. Okay,
let us know, y'all. Let us know.
Sit on that, okay?
Should do 1.5 or 2.5. Spam the chat.
Spam
1.5 or 2.5.
1.5 or 2.5 here, folks. The under 2.5 puts us at plus 781. So that is like a 200 point spread difference.
Can make some money. What do you think? Should we be more conservative? Or should we go big? Go big or go home? What are we thinking, y'all?
I poured my shot, and I'm doing the research. I'm looking at Jack Jenkins right now. I mean, his last 3 finishes were in the second round, and the third round. Before that, it was the 4th round.
Yeah,
they
both have been getting a lot of finishes in the second round. Cheers. So 2.5 might be the guaranteed lock. It's 2.5.
Yeah, under 2.5.
Yeah, that's probably the move.
That's what I'm saying. I think under 2.5. Like it's plus 7. Okay, so plus 781, which means
I mean, I will say I'm that
get
confident.
You 8.8.
Yeah, sorry. I will say I am that confident, but I'm always down to. I'm okay with not getting too greedy now. We are playing with house money.
We are.
Maybe something to keep in mind. We both hit big as of recent to make up for any and all potential L's we took this year. So we're hot, y'all. We're swinging a hot bat, ladies and gents. Nothing but dingers, baby. I like it though. I can concede unless the chat says something otherwise. Unless I see a 1.5 in here, I guess we can go with the more quote unquote sure thing, which nothing's guaranteed, but this is about of a sure thing as you can get.
So we're not gonna lock it in. We're not gonna lock in 2.5. We're gonna hold it in right now. We're gonna just lightly slot it in there.
We're gonna hold the door.
And we're gonna go ahead and move forward into Casey O'Neill coming in against Luana Santos. Folks, this is gonna be a very fun fight. Nano, are you excited about this women's flyweight bout? And if so, who you got?
Brother, I am absolutely stoked about this women's flyweight fight. It's a couple of fly women going in there, and a lot at stake, brother. As a lot of implications, as I like to say around here. I am really excited about it, man. We talked about it a little bit on Tuesday. If y'all were privy to that conversation, maybe you tuned in. If you were, we appreciate it and appreciate having you back. But I was saying that, man, Luana Santos is a girl that you really want to root for. She has all the skills. She has all the momentum. Unfortunately, she is going up against a Casey O'Neill, who is fighting in her backyard in the land down under. Sitting here with a 9-2 record at 26 years young, 3 KOs, 2 subs. Casey O'Neill is as good as it gets. This is going to be a big level up in terms of competition for Luana Santos. Is she ready? Right, that's my big question. Casey O'Neill is 4-2 in the UFC, 2-fight losing streak. Unfortunately, she did recently get submitted by our girl Ariana Lipski. So all that really does kind of help me reiterate the fact that I do think Luana Santos is going to find a way to get it done. I just think she's better. They're both young, but I think Luana Santos has the more momentum. I think she's a better striker. She has 4 subs under her belt as well, sitting there at 24 years young, 8-1, 1 KO, 4 subs. Half of her wins are by submission. That's Casey's last loss. I'm doing a little bit of MMA math here. Luana's 3-0 in the UFC. I think this is that statement, right? I'm looking at I'm reading the room here. I'm reading the writing on the walls. Yeah, I think as the kids would say, Luana Santos seems to have that aura about her. Casey O'Neill is tough as nails, but like I said, trending in the wrong direction. So if we're talking stocks here, like the stock market, I think I've been impressed with Luana Santos' performance. And I'm going to stop doing my George St. Pierre impression there. And hand it back to my guy, MMAnomaly. Talk to me, brother. What are you thinking?
First and foremost, as always, great breakdown, Nano. I think I speak for everybody in the crowd listening. You do a fantastic job, my guy. Now, with that being said, moving into the fight breakdown for myself, I think you're right. Like, the trajectory of Casey O'Neill has not been an amazing one since I would say her win over Roxanne Modafferi, which was her last win in the UFC. Roxanne Modafferi, mind you, has since retired and had a child and is living a completely different lifestyle these days, even though she does enjoy training still and is just adorable with her child and her little like themed geese. Moving forward, or I should say themed rash guards. Anyways, her last notable win was over Roxanne Modafferi. Since then, she has 2 losses to Ariane Lipski, Queen of Violence, and Jennifer Maia. Now, it is worth noting that she suffered a torn ACL in 2022 after her fight, or rather during her fight with Roxanne Modafferi. I think it may have happened after that in training camp. Either way, it happened in 2022. And if you look at her record, all of her losses have happened post 2022. So call me crazy, but I'm going to say that probably had something to do with it. It sucks. You hate to see it, but it is an unfortunate part of the game of mixed martial arts. Now, moving into her opponent, you got Luana Santos. Very fun follow on social media. Those of you who know. Those of you who don't will follow. She is sitting at 8-1 currently. Looking at the differences that they can present in this fight, I mean, there's a 2-year age difference here. 24-year-old Luana Santos, 26-year-old Casey O'Neill, and the same exact numeric difference in reach here. So 67 inches and a 2-inch reach advantage for the 2-year age later Casey O'Neill. I don't think that reach advantage is going to do a whole lot for Casey. I don't think that she's that much stronger than Luana, if at all. And Luana has looked very impressive in her last 5 bouts, with wins over Waleska Salsa, Batira Rodriguez, Juliana Killer Miller, recent winner of Ultimate Fighter, Stephanie Egger, and Maria Agapova, who looked like she was going to be a terror at one point and then has since just kind of fallen off. I think this is going to be similar to the Maria Agapova situation, where you're going to have a lot of fans of Casey O'Neill betting on her, and that's going to help the betting line for us because we will probably not be betting for Casey O'Neill here, who's currently sitting at a plus 120 underdog. I don't hate those odds for Luana Santos. I think we're both in agreement on Luana Santos. Are we thinking money line Luana Santos here, Nano?
Always, brother. I think so. I reckon we cash that money line. It's minus 142, I believe, right now on DraftKings, which is our preferred draft betting site. Please draft responsibly if you do decide to go down that route. If not, then play for ego and bragging rights. Totally fine. All to say, Luana Santos, baby. Take that. Let's go. All right. All right.
Love that question in the chat, Rick.
Something you have to ask him. Yeah.
I couldn't tell you the answer, but bless his heart.
His name is Iron Mike. One can only hope, but we do not know. Can neither deny nor confirm.
Inspired. It's
Appreciate
spiked.
the enthusiasm though, and the and the commitment here
times.
to the comments. Appreciate you.
Good times.
Let us know your thoughts on these upcoming fights here. We're talking UFC 305, Australia. Let's go.
Let's go. Perth, Australia, folks. Let us know in the chat here, Rick Allen, who you have for Casey O'Neill versus Luana Santos. We're going Luana Santos money line sitting at minus 142. Currently, the parlay we're building sitting at 4 picks plus 946. Not mad at it. Moving into the next one, folks, we have Joshua Culibao coming in against Ricardo Ramos. This is going to be a very fun fight. We have a virtually identical matchup, right? 245 pounders, both standing at 5'8", 1 inch reach difference, 1 inch reach advantage, of course, going to Joshua Culibao. I'll be quick and I'll pass it off to you right after, Nano. Look, I like Ricardo Ramos a lot. Carcachinha is his nickname. It's a very fun one to say. Obviously, he is coming off of 2 back-to-back losses. Coming off of a loss via guillotine choke to Charles Air Jourdain. Coming off a loss via guillotine choke to Juicy J. Julian Rosa. But I digress. He's coming in against someone who has also suffered 2 recent losses. Against Lucky Liron Murphy, or I should say Liron the Miracle Murphy. I always say Lucky Liron, but it's Lucky Lauren Murphy. That's a female fighter, and that is a very different fighter. So anyway, look, he had a loss to Liron the Miracle Murphy. He had a loss to Danny Silva. And I mean, before then, his biggest wins were over Seung-Woo Choi via split decision, mind you, and Melsik Bagsadarian, which is a very fun name to say, via rear naked choke in the second round. That's his only submission win in his professional career. I don't think he comes out here and gets another submission win, simply because like Zubara Tukagov was not able to submit this guy. He had to go out there and get a decision win over him. That's not to say Zubara was like a crazy submission artist, right? Either way, I think I'm kind of sitting on the fence here a little bit, but fuck, I'm going to make my decision right now. We're going Ricardo Ramos here. I love a dog. He's a slight dog. I don't know if I'm feeling comfortable enough to throw him on the parlay. Nano, talk me onto or off of the ledge here, brother. And what up, T-Piz?
What up? Well, how we doing, brother? I will talk you off that ledge, brother. I think you are talking a little crazy right now. You're talking crazy. I don't know if this is crazy, okay? I'm liking this minus 142. There seems to be a little bit of a theme here. Both Luana Santos and Josh Culibao. It's close, right? It's certainly not a guaranteed lock. You got a Joshua Culibao here at 30 years old, 11-3-1 record, 3-3-1 in the UFC. But they've been some losses to tough guys, right? Danny Silva, Liron Murphy, like you mentioned, Jalen Turner early in his career. Those are some good lessons and certainly tough opponents. But our boy Josh is fighting in his backyard, right? He's fighting out of Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. So I do think a little bit of that home field advantage is going to take over. But like you said, Ricardo Ramos, someone that you want to root for. Gee wee wee. Someone you want to root for, but man, at 29 years old, 16-6 record, 4 KOs, 7 subs. He's a long-time vet, right? In 5 years, he's earned a 7-5 record. Ricardo, someone I want to see, and I think he will deliver a fun fight, but I don't think he'll be on the winning end of it. I do think Josh Culibao will find a way to get it done. Think it'll stay on the feet for the most part, and yeah, I think Josh will find his way. Josh Culibao does have some great striking skills, and I think that he'll want to put on a show for the home crowd. He'll get it done, and who knows, maybe he'll take a page out of Ty's book and do a little shoey. We'll see.
Yeah, man.
So one of us are doing a shot, it sounds like.
Yeah, one of us are definitely doing a shot. We're not throwing that on the parlay, for sure. Moving into the next one. We have, I already know T-Piz is going to have something to say about this. T-Piz is going to tell us to pour up a fucking shot right now. I can already tell you. Junior Taffa coming in against Walter Walker, which is just a fun fucking name to say here, right? I know you have feelings on this. I know you have thoughts on this. Nano, take it away, brother.
My man. I appreciate it, brother. I do. We got our boy, Junior Tafa. Not to get him confused with his brother, Justin Tafa, but a tough mother effer is what he is. Big, strong, down to get the friction on, and fighting in his backyard as well. So Tafa, 27 years old, 5 wins, 2 losses, and that's 5 KOs. That is a 100% record. Every time he wins, he's knocking you out, right? So I'm calling this one the Battle of the Brothers. Okay, if you're a big Game of Thrones fan, it's a little bit of Battle of the Bastards here. I don't know their actual marital situations, so please don't quote me on that. Don't take me literal. But we got Walter Walker coming in here, and he is Johnny Walker. I'm talking Johnny Black Label Walker's brother. Another brother from, I think, the same mother. At least the same father, because they got the same last name. I digress. Let's not get too much into the weeds here. It's a family show, but Walter Walker is Johnny Walker's brother. 26 years young, 11-1 record. Coming off a loss, unfortunately, and that was his UFC debut, but they're giving him another shot. I don't know if there's any privilege there, but he is the underdog. Walter Walker, he's a big boy, sitting at 6'6", 265. He is maxing out this heavyweight division, and he's going to have a 6-inch reach advantage. I just think he's going to grab a hold of this guy, Junior Tafa, and give him the Anaconda squeeze and take a win by decision. I don't know. I don't feel good about it. These heavyweights, man, anything can happen, right? They touch you once and you're dropping to the floor. But I'm going with Walter Walker. I'm going the underdog here. Probably gonna regret it. But hey, got to go with your gut. You got to go with your gut, y'all. And you know I like a good underdog. I wrote a book about it. So that's where I'm staying, brother. What are you thinking, man? Am I talking crazy?
Hey, man, don't be crazy. Okay,
Come on, don't be crazy.
Look, it's tough. It's tough to bet against the Tafa because it don't get much tougher than Tafa. All right, I'm telling you right now. Junior Tafa is a slight favorite in this one, but I got to be honest with you, I do like Walter Walker a little bit in this one. I'm not going to talk you off the ledge. I know. It's crazy. We agree. It doesn't happen very fucking often, but here we are. I digress. We're talking about Junior Tafa after all. We're not talking about Justin Tafa. We're talking about Junior. We're talking about little bro. If it was Justin Tafa, T-Piz, looking at you in the chat, brother, I would wholeheartedly be like, you know what? I've seen the light of day. I've learned the error of my ways. I've seen this one play out before. But now with Junior, I've never been wrong on this guy. So I'm going to not be wrong again, and I'm going to bet against him. Yeah, that's going to happen. I know, shocking stuff. Truly shocking stuff, folks. The question is, how good do we feel about Junior Tafa versus Walter Walker, the money line situation? Or do we want to really toe the line here and go over 1.5? Because neither of these guys are super early finishers.
That's interesting. I mean, the over 1.5 is sitting at 154, minus 154. Walter Walker straight up money line plus 114. I mean, if we're both confident, I guess you just take it straight up. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, again, how safe do we want to play?
He has gotten some decisions, but I mean, if we look at his last 4 wins, if we think he's going to win, his last 4 came by way of finish.
And were any of them in the second round? Probably first or second, right?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, we know he's going to get a finish. So we could just go, fuck it. We could just go money line with him. We'll go money line with him. You're right. We're gonna play it with our heart.
I like it.
We're going money line. We're up to plus 2139 with this 5-pick parlay right now. So to put that into easy perspective for you guys listening, that means 1 unit, and easy to put it into like easy math, you're playing with $1 as 1 unit. That would mean $1 would get you $22.39, or 1 unit would get you 22.39 units. We're big math fans here at the MMAnomaly Show, no filter. T-Piz has asked for a shot. We're going to pour it up. We're going to do it because that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? He has hit the big red button. We're not gonna pour it into a shoe though. Just because I don't have one nearby. If I did, I truly would. We've done it before.
Yep.
Last Tai Tuivasa win. Or actually, no. It was the Paris card. It was when he got fucking killed.
It was a while ago. Yeah, that's why I had to do it. Oh yeah.
He did it right when the fight started, and he got crushed.
Oh yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, that was the only time we ever did a live watch party.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was tough. I'm remembering it. It's all coming back to me.
Yeah, it was probably a tough listen, and it was tough to do the shoe. I grabbed one of my oldest gym shoes, and it was bad.
That was tough. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was a pussy. I grabbed a newer shoe, and I just sacrificed a newer shoe and threw it away afterwards.
Yeah, I had hair in my mouth and everything. Cheers,
ruining
boys.
shoes.
Cheers, y'all. Thank you for being here with us. If you don't drink alcohol, stay hydrated, drink some water, some liquid IV, do what you got to do.
That's right. Make sure you have plenty of Fresca. Because you can't have a whiskey Fresca without Fresca. All right, folks. We're moving to the next one here. We're over this Junior Taffa talk. Oh, man. This next fight is an interesting one. I feel like we're gonna have a situation here. Okay. We have Li Jingliang coming in against Carlos Prates Nano. I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one. And cheers, T-Piz. Hope you enjoyed that shot, brother. You let us know when you're ready for round 2. Nano, who you got in this one?
Yeah, man. I went with my heart and my gut initially, not really fully. Well, one, watching the embedded episodes, and then maybe doing enough homework on this guy, Carlos Prates. One, looks like Charles Oliveira, and I'm talking about Charles Dubronx's older cousin of some sort, even though he's younger than him, sitting at 30 years old. Carlos Prates, 14 KOs, 13 subs. That's 17 out of 19 of his wins have come via finish. They call him the Nightmare for a reason. I think the dude is actually pretty legit. I really went with my heart here. I listened to John Anik earlier in the week say Jinliang Li is one of his favorite fighters. Leech. It got me thinking, man, how do I bet against this guy, right? He's been in the UFC for 10 years, Jinliang Li. 36 years old, 19-8 record, 10 KOs, 4 subs. And you know me, brother. You know I usually like those young bucks, but something about just rooting for the underdog here really was appetizing, and why I'm gonna shoot for the stars, hopefully land on the moon. Yeah, that's how I feel inside, is what the F was I thinking. This guy Carlos Prates is a nightmare. I think he has some really tough skills. He puts it on you. I mean, we've seen the Leech get finished and just be in those uncompromisable spots. And at this stage in his career, I don't know if he's made any more improvements. I think what we see is what we get. I should have probably thought longer and harder about that, but we're going to ride it out till the wheels fall off here. I'm rooting for the Leech, but I will not be surprised, and I will happily do a big old shot on Tuesday because I'll probably be wrong. But talk to me, brother. Let us know. Let the 27 viewers here watching talk to us, man. Why do you think? Am I gonna be having nightmares all weekend, and why?
Well, yes, you will definitely be having nightmares because I have possibly the funnest stat that you will hear across this show, listeners. This guy's fighting out of the Fighting Nerds, Jim. They have not lost in the year 2024. Not Carlos Prates. The fucking gym. Every fighter professionally fighting out of that fight team in the UFC is undefeated currently in the year 2024. So, I'm sorry, Nano. I fucking love you. If I was near you, I'd give you a big, tight hug because you'll need it after Saturday, my guy. Until somebody from Fighting Nerds loses, I will not bet against them. To put it into perspective, folks, just in case you don't understand, like, who fights out of this gym, we're talking about Jean Lord Silva, the guy who fought twice in like 2 weeks, right? We're talking about Mauricio Ruffi, one shot. We're talking about the Brazilian bad boy, Diego Bianchini. I mean, there's a number of names here, but I think obviously the biggest one is Jean Lord Silva. Folks, come on. These guys are nasty. And I think that this gym is one to pay attention to. And if you ever forget which gym is the one that's crushing it right now, you'll know very soon, because right after the fight, they put on a pair of super fucking nerdy glasses like these.
Nice.
With some tape over the center. I just think that this guy's a nightmare, folks. I think he's a nightmare. He is an absolute beast. He's got 3 submission losses. He's got 1 decision loss and 2 KO losses, but he's got 14 fucking KO wins, 3 submission wins, and 2 decision wins. And if you look at what he's done, MMA is not necessarily a game of what have you done. It's more so a game of what have you done for me lately. Very much so. And in this case, I'll tell you what he's done for you lately. He's won a lot of fucking fights. Okay? Because he hasn't been defeated since 2019. He's had 11 professional bouts since then. That's a fucking hell of a streak. Okay, granted, 2 of them are modified rules kickboxing fights, but that's okay. Because Jing Liang is more of a kickboxer than he is a submission artist on any day of the week. I'm going Carlos Prates here. Give me the fighting nerd. We'll stay away from throwing this one on the parlay, just because you did pick Jing Liang. I don't want to jinx your bet. I don't want to bet against you. No bad blood there. I'll be honest, same reason I didn't throw Carlos Prates on my parlay that we're going to go head-to-head with here. We're bringing back the head-to-head parlays, folks. We're going to do it at the end of the show. Now, moving forward, we have, speaking of parlays, we got Tai Tuivasa coming in against Jairzinho Rozenstruik. This is a fight for the fucking ages. If ever there were a time to pull out a shoe, Tai Tuivasa is somebody that has played with our heartstrings time and time again. If you're a fan, and you know. And if not, you're going to go down memory road. He's somebody that won our hearts by knocking people out. And by people, I mean Greg Hardy. Everybody wanted to see that guy get knocked out. Everybody wanted to see that guy get knocked out. It's true. It's not even a joke. I'm not trying to be a dick. It's true. People wanted to see him get knocked out. If you're a grown man, you weigh over 250 fucking pounds, you're beating up women, people want to see other grown men knock you the fuck out. It's just simply a fact. So I think, can we give this man a round of applause for knocking him out? I think that's right. So Tai Tuivasa did a great job of knocking out Greg Hardy, hit him with a counter hook while backing up. I mean, it was just beautiful stuff. And then after that, he got a knockout win over Augusto Sakai in round number 2. And then he even knocked out the legend, Mr. Hot Balls himself. That's right, folks. Derek Lewis. Right? He knocked him out with an elbow. It was nice. In round number 2, 1 minute and 40 seconds in. Since then, he's been on a bit of a skid, right? Lost to Cyril Gana. We did the shoey. Sergey Pavlovich. We did not do a shoey. Alexander Volkov. Again, no shoey. Marcin Tibura. No shoey. I'm starting to think, actually, that maybe we should have done a shoey to break the curse.
You might be onto something.
All right, guys. We may or may not end up recording a video of us doing a shoey here just to post to the socials so we break the fucking curse. It's not going to happen right now. It's not going to happen tonight, but it may or may not happen in the very near future. That's a fucking thing. But I digress. When it comes to this fight, you have a 31-year-old versus a 36-year-old. Both stand at 6'2" tall, and I mean, there's a bit of a reach difference, or not a reach. There is a reach difference, though. I was going to talk about the weight difference first. There is about a 20-pound difference between their last weigh-in. So Jairzinho is typically a lighter guy around the 240 to 245-pound range, while Ty typically cuts to make that 265-pound cutoff. Okay? T-Piz, man, just calling for the damn shoe relentlessly. He fucking wants it.
This guy.
He fucking wants it. Now, look. Ty, he's a guy, right? He's a heavier guy. But he's also got less of a reach. And Jairzinho is somebody that actually does have decent striking. I mean, the guy's a former kickboxer. Biggie Boy is an absolute beast in the factor of throwing strikes, right? In fact, if you look at his win and loss record, loss, submission, decision, 2 knockouts. Wins, 0 submissions, 1 decision, 13 knockouts. I think this is wholeheartedly going to be a kickboxing matchup, folks. And if it is, I think it might actually end up favoring Tai Tuivasa if he fights smart. Because he has the power, in my opinion, over Biggie Boy. He's the bigger guy, even though he has a smaller ape index here. Right? Yeah, I think I'm leaning Ty. I think Ty probably gets it done inside the distance, too. I think he gets a knockout here. What do you think, Nano?
Yeah, I like it. I like it, brother. I mean, as I stand up real quick to showcase my Tai Tuivasa shirt, let's go. Bam, bam. We were talking shoeys. There's your shoey right there, right in the corner. Let's go. And it's on the back as well. For you visual listeners, or excuse me, for all the visual people, there you go. But for you audio folks, I did show my Tai Tuivasa shirt. I'm a huge fan, big fan. Ruined for him, right? I mean, I'm going to be a little biased here in saying that, yeah, I'm hoping it's more of a boxing than a kickboxing match. If it is straight kickboxing, that does favor our boy, Biggie Boy, Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Sitting there at 36 years old, 14-5 record, 13 KOs, finisher, right? And then we got Tai Tuivasa, 31 years young, 14-7 record, 13 KOs. Both of these guys swang and bang, right? It's just Ty's just, man, he really needs to flip this coin. He needs to break this streak, and he's streaky. I mean, he's coming off 4 losses in a row, but before that, he was able to string together 5 wins. Before that, 3 losses, but before that, a lot of wins. So I think hopefully he just gets back on the right track here. He's due, right? He's due. He's ready, and he's got an aging opponent in front of him who I think, as great of a striker he is, Biggie Boy has lost. He has 5 losses on there, 8-5 record in the UFC, and most of those have been to those big power punches, right? Power punchers, excuse me. Not just heavyweights. All heavyweights are power punchers, but those big boys that can really, really hit you. The Alexander Volkovs, the Curtis Blades, the Ciryl Gans, the Francis Ngannous, right? Putting their lights out. And Tai Tuivasa has that capability, like you mentioned. So, short and sweet. TP, I'll be doing a shoey if Ty wins. If Biggie Boy wins, I don't know, maybe we'll have to see you do a shoey as well. But it's going to be a good one. Let's go.
Absolutely love that breakdown, Nano. So it sounds like we're both leaning towards Tai Tuivasa, a.k.a. Shoeivasa. This next one's a very interesting fight for me, man. We got Mateusz Gamrot coming in against Dan Hooker. Man, I'm just going to come right out and say it. I like Mateusz in this fight. I like him in this matchup. I think he probably goes out there and gets a submission. Dan Hooker has looked like a shadow of his former self in some of these last fights. And it's one of these situations where a lot of people are like, oh man, he's really changed. He's really beefed up. He looks buff. He looks strong. He's all tatted up. Has the bleached blonde hair. I mean, he's having a midlife crisis. Like I bleach my hair every now and then. I get it. But like, look, folks, dude got like 42 tattoos in the last 2 years. and has had bleached blonde hair. And I don't think it's going to do anything for his fight game. I'm sorry. I don't want to be the bad guy, but sometimes I fucking am. So it simply is what it is. Is that Luna? Is she trying to make her podcast debut right now? What up, Luna?
Yes, let's go.
As they say, the dog barks in the backyard. Sometimes in the podcast.
Backyard, baby.
Let's go, Luna. So look, yeah, I got Mateusz Gamrot in this one. I think he gets it done via finish. I think he's just going to be too much for Dan Hooker. I think Dan Hooker is going to go to 23-13 and probably end up going to another promotion shortly after that. Nano, what are you thinking, man?
Oh man, I hope not. That's my boy right there. We're talking about Dan the Hangman Hooker. I surely hope he sticks around. He is a fan favorite of mine. He's been in the UFC for a long time, a staple, right? He's fought all the who's who's. Tatted Dan, I feel like he's the man. This guy, he's turning over a new leaf. He is kind of like your, your aging dad or uncle that, is dyeing his hair, trying to be cool again. Maybe he does a cycle of steroids and some tats definitely make you feel a little bit younger. I don't mind it, brother. I'll be rooting for him, but I do think, like Thanos, being Mateusz Gamrot, I think it's inevitable what's going to happen on Saturday. But sticking with Dan Hooker real quick, man. An absolute legend. He's been another decade-long UFC fighter, 13-8 record, and he's fought all the best of the best. Some absolute legends and true Hall of Famers. So, got to give credit where it's due. But like you said, man, what version of Dan are we gonna see? Because he's going up against one of American top team's best. In Gamrot, Sin with the 7-2 record in the UFC, just a pure dominant wrestler. 3-fight win streak. I mean, man, I think we know what's going to happen, y'all. I think the wrestling game, and Gamrot's not shying away from it. I think we know that's what's going to happen very, very often. I think we're looking on underdogs, probably take the over on takedowns, take the over on strikes. I think Gamrot's probably going to, unfortunately, be dominant against a Dan Hooker at this stage in his career, unfortunately.
As Metallica said it best, it's sad but true. It's sad but true. It is what it is, though, right? This is an unfortunately true part of the game. We watch some of our favorites just age out of the game. We watch them get older, and as a result, they get slower, and these other young up-and-comers, they get better. They get faster, right? Miss Mary. Special guest Luna. Shout out.
Shout out.
Let's go. Love it. 10 out of 10 on the shoe, by the way. He said that fight with DP was beautiful. T-Piz in the chat said, and I agree, it was a beautiful fight. That was a fantastic fight. An even more fantastic win for Mateusz Gamrot. But I digress. Was it enough? I don't know. I just don't know, man. Something like that. It's and also how long ago it was. I don't know that we see anything like that coming into this upcoming fight against Mateusz Gamrot. And Mateusz fucking trains with Dustin, doesn't he? Am I wrong here?
No, he does. American Top Team. He definitely does.
So, dude, come on. That's a tough tale there. And with that being said, it's time for the main event. Or not the main event, but the co-main event. Folks, time for the co-main event.
It's time
for Kai Kara-France coming in against Steve Erceg. Stevie 26, you know what I'm saying? He just looks like the homie that would be at the 7-Eleven smoking a pack of cigarettes that would just fucking wreck your shit if you walk up on him. He's all, oh yeah, you trying to walk up on me, mate? Fucking get bit. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that's an inaccurate description of him in any way, shape, or form.
Yo, you're wilding right now, my guy.
It's facts, dude.
It's Yeah, he looks like he probably bought a pack of a beer for some kids, and then lined up a fucking Marble Red 100 or something crazy.
It's not an insult. Like, my favorite guest appearance on any tough season, and you know this, is Jean-Charles Scarbazier. Because like, he showed up as GSP's homie, and they said that he reeked of alcohol and cigarettes, and he still proceeded to beat up like 10 fucking grown men that were trying to get into the UFC. And he's just having fun, literally drunk from the night before, beating ass. I'll be honest, like, I want to be him when I grow up, dude. Like,
I feel that. That's my hero.
he's a fucking beast. He just apparently went and trained with John Jones for fun last week. Jean-Charles.
Just a casual week. Just a casual week for him.
Cash week. You know what I'm saying? What a fucking guy, dude. What a fucking guy. What an absolute stud. Who do you have in this Kai Kara France? Don't blink versus Steve Ursig, man. Who do you think takes this one?
Brother, it's got to go with Astro Boy. It's tough for me not to. I do love Kai Kara France. He's someone sitting there, or Kai Kara France, at a 31 years old, 24-11 record, 11 KOs, 3 subs, and coming off some really tough losses, unfortunately. Because before that, boy, was he looking good, right? He obviously fought, and one of those losses was against a Brandon Moreno for the interim title. You know, close but no cigar. You know, and he lost even previous to that, Brandon Moreno again, of Brandon Royval. So I do think, unfortunately, in an Amir Albaze, while I'm going through all the losses.
That was pretty ballsy of you. All ballsy.
I'm all ballsy, baby. All to say, long pause there. Let it marinate. I just think there's a level, right? If you look at his losses, it means he just isn't able to crack through that elite of elites. And unfortunately, I do think that's what he's going up against here in a Steve Astro Boy Ursig. His only losses to the champion, and he stretched the champion for 25 minutes, made it as close as you possibly could. Maybe a few stylistic or coaching changes away from potentially winning that fight. So and Ursig just feels like a big boy. Like, Steve just feels like a bigger dude. He carries that weight well. He has the power. He's got the power. I do think ultimately.
I got the power.
Yeah, I'm going Ursig. Riding that hype train all the way back to his title contender status is again. But curious to hear your thoughts, brother. Am I tripping? Am I tripping, man? What you think?
I don't think you're tripping. You know that. No, I definitely don't think you're tripping, bro. I think at the very worst, you're fantastically onto something here, my guy. Yeah, I think Ursig is going to come out here and get it done. I think Kai Kara France is somebody that is an absolute beast, but is somewhat becoming a bit of a 500 fighter. And it's not due to a lack of skill. It's more so due to an increase in competition, right? Once you make it to the UFC, buddy, it's tough. It's tough, kid. And he's had nothing but tough fights since he's made it to the UFC. And Steve Ursig might be, even though he's only had 14 professional fucking fights, which is insane, right? It's insane if you think about it. I still think he gets it done. I think Steve Ursig is he's that guy. He's got Tai Tuivasa style fucking power at a 125 pound frame. The fact that the man makes 125 pounds is insane to me. Like, he's 5'7". He's, to put that into perspective, he's 3 inches shorter than me, and I'm 204.
Sheesh.
Like, that's a 79 pound difference. 2 inches shorter. Like, sorry guys, I'm going to go back to the gym. Obviously, I'm doing some shit wrong. But no, like, with all due respect, like, that's insane. So I just think he's a big boy. The craziest thing about this is a statistic that is called the ape index, right? Now, Steve Erceg, I just pointed out, is only 2 inches shorter than me. And he's 79 pounds less than me on the weigh-in day. That being said, his opponent is 5'3" compared to 5'7", right? But even at 5'3" versus 5'7", his opponent has a 1-inch reach advantage. Kai Kara-France has a 69-inch reach advance. That's right, folks. A 69-inch reach advantage. Not advantage. Sorry. Not reach advantage. He has a 69-inch reach. And his opponent has a 68-inch reach. So, look. Steve Erceg is that fucking dude. Jacques the Rector, welcome back. Welcome back, our friend. Oh, what a cute doggy in your picture there. Is that your dog or is that just like a homie dog? Does that dog have a grill?
You missed Luna earlier.
That's sick as hell. You missed Luna earlier. Yeah. So adorable. Anyway, Stevie is that guy now. New era. I agree. New era. Can we get some fucking... And also, can we get some fucking like mutant theme for the guy being a 5'7" flyweight? Bro, come on. Ridiculous. Also, Jack the Rector said, Kai ain't fought in a year or two, they said. Brother, come on. I mean, it's tough, bro. He's pretty inactive. Especially for a flyweight. I feel like flyweights are typically pretty fucking active. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Nano?
True. Yeah, I would say that's true. That's true. I mean, yeah, he had one fight in the last 2 years, essentially. Albazi back in June of 2023. So that was literally over a year ago. And then before that, 2 fights in 2022. So a little bit of time off, yeah, as of recent. I wonder if maybe it was an injury-related break or maybe the Israel Adesanya kind of mental health route of just maybe needing a break. He was pretty active, but yeah, not good signs. Certainly, even if he was active or trending the right direction, I don't even know if the best version of him is still going to be able to beat the Astro Boy. I think it's just levels. Like a boy, Jack Director, shouldn't say boy or gal, like our good acquaintance over here mentioned. It's a new era, and I think Steve Erceg is a great example of that.
I definitely agree, man. I definitely agree. Steve is that guy. Steve is definitely that guy. And let's jump in the chat real quick. Jacques Director says, feels like ring rust is real for some guys. Maybe not the best of the best, but for other guys, for sure. I agree. The question is, do you think Kai Kara-France is one of the best of the best? No. I'm gonna fucking Instacart you some eye drops right now. It's gonna happen.
Do it. I know my eyes are. I think my monthlies are ready for a new one. There we go.
What you need is the Red Lid Rotos. We are not sponsored, but if we were, boy, oh boy, would we do a hell of an ad plug here. The Rotos Red Lid, aka the Max Strength, is the best in the business when it comes to red eye relief, as well as just simply dry eye relief. Make sure that that's the one you're picking up when you have dry eyes.
It's literally like a cold plunge for your eyeballs. I do need those. My contacts are legit dry right now, brother.
It's like a Coors Banquet, but for your eyes. When you need to quench your thirst, make sure that you're quenching it with Coors Banquet beer. This podcast isn't brought to you by Coors Banquet, but it could be.
Hopefully one day.
The fake ad reads, I'm telling you, I'm gonna keep doing them, dude. I'm gonna do them every fucking episode till the wheels fall off.
I do have a Coors hat. Maybe I'll put that on next time. We'll coordinate it better.
I've got a Bud Light hat in the back. I was thinking about wearing that for possibly one of the NASCAR skits, or having Mary wear it while I like. We have an idea. You'll see it. I don't want to give it away.
Yeah, no spoilers. No spoilers.
Yeah. It'll be good. We have some good ideas, actually. They're terrible ideas, with all due respect, but in the best way. So look at that. I love that. Sponsor them, damn it. Thank you, Jock Director. We really appreciate the support. And T-Piz just bought 40 Coors Lights. It happened. And he also bought 40 boxes of Rotos on Target.com. This podcast not brought to you by Target.com, but it could be. Make sure that you shop with your red card at Target.com. So look, all jokes aside, I think Stevie Erceg here gets it done. He is he's not the longer, he is the taller, stronger fighter here. I just think that he is going to be too tough. And also the pressure, right? Like, I think, going to put on my technical hat here for just a moment, folks. When it comes to the way that these guys fight, you got one guy that's like a constant pressure that somehow throws power in with the pressure every now and then. It's like a really like if you've stayed at an Airbnb, that's like a super old building. You turn the water pressure on high, right? The water stays on, but every now and then it's like there's a fucking There's like a quick pressure of water. You're like, whoa, well, I didn't expect that. That was unexpected. Little splashy splash. That's how Erceg fights. It's a constant flow. There's some craziness in there, just mixed in. Like old pipes in the best way. Like I feel like that's genuinely the way that Steve Erceg fights. Thanks, Jock Director. I appreciate it. So, and then looking at the way that his opponent fights, it's like somebody with like the most expensive Nerf gun in the world, right? But it's not one of those constant stream ones. It's like a sniper rifle that just shoots really fast rounds. And they don't come they're not 5 of them together, right? You got to reload after every 2 to 3. So it's like, tack, 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 tack. And they're very quick when they do fire, but they don't fire that often. That's how Kai Kara-France fights, right? He's very quick when he does, though. Tack, 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 tack. But there's never any more than 3 strikes at a time. Whereas his opponent is not quite as fast. He's tap, 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 tap. So he throws in those hard shots, and when he throws in the hard shots, he throws in fast shots with them. So I just think it's a bad stylistic matchup. I think Steve Erceg is going to have the power. I think the pressure is going to prove to be too much for Kai Kara-France. And that's why I got Steve Erceg in this one, folks. So we're obviously agreeing on this one. I think maybe we throw Erceg at -175 in our crazy guy parlay.
I like it. I was hoping it'd go down or something, but no. I'm taking Erceg. Wherever it's at, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I mean, -175 on Erceg. If I'm being honest with you, again, clip this. Somebody clip this. What is the timing here? 1:18 seconds in. We need to clip this shit. The reason we take Steve Erceg money line at -175, Nano, is because after Saturday's performance, that'll be the lowest and best odds that we ever get him at again.
That is true.
He will be a heavy favorite after this moving forward, I promise you. Unless he's fighting Alessandro Pantoja.
That is true.
And even then, I don't think we'll get him at dog odds. I think, honestly, it'll be closer to like a pick 'em. Truly.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Truly. Hey, it's upside down 616. 616 is my lucky number since I've read Marvel Comics since I was like 5 years old, 6 years old. Yeah, so random thing. I always see that number like every day, whether it's forward facing or upside down. Anyways, moving into the main event of the evening, folks.
It's time!
That's right. Without further ado, it is time for Dricus du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya. Folks, it is time. It is time for the battle for UFC gold, the battle for Africa, the battle for Wakanda.
Oh my gosh. I did not expect this.
Folks, I did make those myself.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm assuming you're taking a diss on you.
I mean, I just due to the graphic design, I feel like I have to, but I will happily make a case. I am. I mean, it's a toss-up, right? It literally is. I am gonna follow the greatness on this one, but oh my gosh, that was caught us all off guard.
Look, all I'm saying is Israel Adesanya, he's not gonna have M'Baku, okay, bro? Killmonger's probably gonna get the win, get that W. I'm going DDP on this one. I'm going DDP on this one hard. I like Adesanya. I've been a fan of his for a very long time. I was a fan of his since the very beginning. But I mean, look, dude, he's like Black Panther without the purple flowers right now, dog. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. Jock Director said, I don't think so. I feel like DDP will dominate here. Izzy looks different, and his nervous trash talk is showing cracks, man. I agree. I think it's over for Izzy. He will get some wins, but the title is done with. I completely agree. I think also, and again, you know I'm big on analogies, folks. You know I'm big on analogies. Look, gonna throw an analogy out here right now. You have a calm, calculated sniper of a fighter in Israel Adesanya. Again, not a lot of volume. He fights out of City Kickboxing in the same gym as the last guy that I just said is like a sniper Nerf gun. There's a reason I'm saying one is like a sniper Nerf gun, as one is like a real sniper rifle, obviously. Israel Adesanya is the real sniper rifle here. We know this, folks. We know this. There's no need for a record scratch. It's just a fucking fact. It's just a fact, folks. But I digress. Got a sniper rifle in there. Calm, calculated killer. Someone who analyzes everything. Let's say he's like a hitman. But he's going in there, Nano. He's going in there against somebody who, I mean, honestly, if I had to describe Dricus du Plessis, a.k.a. DDP, a.k.a. the African King, I would say that he fights like somebody that has puppy dog energy. He's like a 350-pound, 1-month-old pit bull. Like that pit bull, when he sees you, he's excited. He doesn't want to hurt you. His tail's wagging. He just knocked over the vase with your mom's ashes in it. Like, he didn't mean to do it. He's just excited to see you, buddy. And you know, when he breaks 3 ribs, he didn't mean to do it. He was excited. He's jumping around like puppy dog energy. And the craziest thing about puppy dog energy, and the reason that they end up breaking 3 ribs or knocking stuff off of tables, is because you simply don't anticipate for it. You can't plan for it. Right? When a Sean Strickland does his iCarly guard, you can kind of anticipate that he's going to take a step forward, raise his left knee, take a step forward, throw a jab, take a step back, raise his right knee, take a step forward, throw his jab. It's fairly predictable. But with a puppy dog, I mean, you don't know what they're going to see. And whatever they see, they're like a crazy little jive turkey. It's going to excite their shit, dog. So, puppy dog energy versus trained assassin. The trained assassin is just going to be looking to make too many reads that aren't there. And I think the constant pressure is just going to wilt that beautiful flower that is Israel Adesanya and his fight style. Even the most beautiful of flowers, you know, they need water to grow, right? Adesanya, he's a beautiful flower. He needs strikes to make reads. I think anyone can agree with that. That's how he wins fights, by making counter strikes. You need strikes to make counter strikes. Flowers need water to grow, but if you put too much water in the pot, you will kill that flower much faster than you would if you didn't give it any water at all. And I think the overabundance of strikes from DDP is just going to kill the flower that is Adesanya. Nano! Jump in here, brother. What are you thinking?
Bro, that was a really good freaking breakdown. Let's go. Yo, that was fire. Seriously though, man, really well said. I mean, it's at the end of the day, man, we got two legends going in there. All right, this is great against great. The odds are certainly suggesting that people are torn. It was weighting a little bit more heavy. Izzy at one point, I think you're again Dricus du Plessis, the champion, potentially, I think at plus odds at one point, if I'm not mistaken. Now it's a little bit more closer to even odds. I'm sure as the money's coming in, things are shifting a little bit. But yeah, man, I mean, aside from the stylistic matchup that I think we'll see, I do agree with everything you mentioned. I think just the whole sentiment, right, around these two fighters, like the narrative around the whole clash of I guess the African champ, who is or not, and some of the animosity, is that going to be what Izzy needs or needed to regain his throne to if you're thinking of any movie or any caricature who, they have that high, then they have the dip, and then they have to re-rise again. This feels like a similar narrative, right? He's going for that first time three-peat, or third time, I guess, middleweight champion there. But again, how motivated is he? Is that anger going to be channeled in the right areas? That's my big question with Izzy Adesanya. But other than that, man, this is going to be his toughest challenge to date. I mean, Alex Pereira is a freak of nature. He is built different. He is one of one. But aside from that, he's going up against one of the most decorated, not decorated champions, I was going to say one of the most deserving champions right now. I mean, he is an absolute stud. He's worked his way up. If DDP beats Izzy and does the Wakanda sign, hey, you never know. He might. Honestly, he mentioned Ngannou. He
Wakanda
mentioned Kamaru. You never know. He really might. That's a great call out there. I truly think that.
As I have the full-size metal Captain America shield behind me. In the backdrop.
I gotta tend to lean on greatness, right? I look at these dynasties, I look at these Tom Brady's or the Patrick Mahomes or the Michael Jordans or the Steph Currys in the Olympics, where it's just greatness does what greatness needs to do in great moments, and I think this is a great moment. And I think the greater fighter in the biggest moment's probably going to be Izzy. I can't bet against him. Is it going to be close? Yes. Do I do think DDP is going to have a great coaching plan and everything? Yes. But do I think Izzy's going to find a way to execute more? I do.
Whew. So you're thinking Izzy.
Izzy, can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me.
Izzy, can't you see? He's going to get knocked out by Dricus du Plessis.
Oh no, not du Plessis.
And I just love that flashy verse, even though I'm sorry that it might have hurt. I'm sorry. I could keep going, but I'm just going to stop, brother.
Don't make it worse. You're going to hit me with another curse.
I grew up in fucking North Louisiana, bro, and you'd get very bored and just watch the movie 8 Mile and then freestyle with your homies in the fucking yard. So
you better make a name for yourself here.
Ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself here. You know how long I've been waiting for this?
How long I've been waiting for this? You make sure people know what happened here today.
Hey! Just make sure people know what happened here today. And when you leave, make sure you get yourself something to drink.
Don't you know how to introduce yourself while you start pouring up somebody else's liquor?
Bro, the fact that dude, like Channing Tatum, I always like wanted to see his gambit just because I could tell his excitement. Right? The fact that his dad is from New Orleans and he was like mostly around
Fallon.
New Orleans, Metairie, like all like, bro,
So
like,
sick.
Fun fact: I used to go to the like New Orleans, like to the Mardi Gras parades in Metairie because like they were slightly safer than the ones in New Orleans, and also we had family in Metairie, we had family in Lafayette, like, which is why I like Dustin Poirier so much. Shout out Dustin Poirier. So yeah, when I heard that dude do the Cajun accent, like, brother, it's perfect. It's fucking perfect.
Dude, he crushed it. He absolutely crushed it.
He did so perfect. Like, my girl asked me as soon as we got out of the theater, she's like, "Did you think he did a good job?" Because she knows, like, I'm the Louisiana guy. Like, our homie Matt has me saved in his phone as the Raging Cajun, which is fucking hilarious to me.
The Raging Cajun. I like it.
I mean, it's pretty accurate. It's pretty
That's
apropos.
Would that be your nickname, you think, if that was your
Owen the Raging Cajun Stewart is pretty fire, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
That's sick.
Let's fucking go! You know what I'm saying? I'd get crazy if I was.
Some good merch too.
We might have to make some like.
I was just say we might have found our new merch. We might have found some merch. Come on.
The Raging Cajun. What would your nickname be, Nano? Let's see here. Once DDP wins, Nano,
I was gonna say you put me on the spot.
You will have to be kicked out of Wakanda, but we still love you, bro.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate you. Honorary member, as always. Just keep the back door open for me now. Yeah, I mean, I was hoping you give me more time. Jive Turkey, Nano, Suave. No, I mean, it's gotta be something tough. The Fight Machine. Maybe the Emiliano Machine. No, I don't know. I gotta think about it. Let me know. The Raging, I mean, it's hard to follow Raging Cajun, so either way, I'm doomed to fail.
I mean,
but
I was trying to tee you up for something that I felt like was very easy. The Jive Turkey. I mean, come on.
The Jive Turkey. That can work. Go.
Nano Libre.
Oh, there we go. Come on, baby.
Goat
That's my
movie.
favorite.
Absolutely, bro. If you think
Literally the best.
I mean, if you think otherwise,
Come on, don't be crazy.
Listen to me.
listen to me. Don't be crazy.
These are my recreational clothes.
I'm gonna have to honestly. There's not any good like quick go-to soundboards for Black Panther, but I already have like at least. Depending on how the fight goes, if the fight goes how I think it's gonna go, I have 2 sound clips that I think are gonna be perfect. I'm just gonna call it out. Izzy is a sniper, right? I think he's gonna get a counter shot. I think he's gonna rock DDP at some point, but DDP has an incredible recovery, so he will recover and continue pressuring forward like a waterfall. So as you can see, I am not dead.
I am not dead. I do not concede, and I am not dead.
I think it's like perfect. If I can find a way to Photoshop DDP's face. Oh man. Oh, I heard
That's
they
the
recast.
trick.
I heard they actually finally recast Black Panther. Robert Downey Jr. is gonna play him.
I saw that AI. That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
I know who I am. I'm the Black Panther.
Wakanda forever.
It'd be so bad, but so amazing. Could you imagine if Tropic Thunder was shot in the year 2024?
Ooh. Yeah, but I don't want to.
That's a conversation that came up the other day, and I was like, "Hey, that's tough." I don't know if I want to think about that.
I know who would even do it. Seth or
It'd be
Judd
Seth.
Apatow.
It would
Judd
definitely be
Apatow,
Seth.
maybe. Yeah.
It'd be Seth and Evan Goldberg, the guy that does the boys.
Wouldn't it the same?
They're the same people that do the boys, and they're the same, or they do the boys. They produce the boys, and they also produce Invincible. Seth and Evan. Good old Seth.
Great shows.
All right, folks. Look, we're trying to figure out here if we should do the shoey after the show, or if we should do the shoey pre or during the bets right now that we're going to place on underdogs. I have underdogs opened up. What are you thinking, Nano? What are you thinking?
I mean, I don't have the shoe ready, but I probably will for sure be doing one on Saturday, regardless. But
It's happening.
I don't know if I want to go run and do a shoe right now, but Well, I'll follow the leader, my brother. You tell me. What are we doing?
I don't have any clean shoes, but I mean, it's a shoey, right? Fuck it. What are you thinking, man? Should we play the book ad and go grab a shoe?
Oh man. I also
We can
need
hold off.
I also need a towel for the rug and everything.
Hold off. I don't wanna
There's
get
some
you in trouble.
logistics. Yeah, there's some logistics here. My wife just walked back in. I don't know if
I don't want to get you in trouble.
on the new rug. I don't know if that'll do.
Oh, new rug? No, it's a no. It's a no. Where's the buzzer for that? It's a no.
Well, I'll have to be outside for sure. I think I'll have to be outside.
All right, folks. We're gonna break the curse though. We're gonna break the curse. You look out for that on the socials. We will do a shoey before the fight happens. To break this fucking Shoey Vasa curse. So as it stands for the DraftKings one, we have a 6-pick parlay. We have Jesus Aguilar money line. We have the over 1.5 on Kenan Song versus Ricky Glenn. We have the under 2.5 on Jack Jenkins versus Herbert Burns. We have Luana Santos money line. We have Walter Volker money line. And we have Steve Ursig money line.
Fire.
Love it. I love it. Plus 3,419 is the odds on that. So if you put 1 unit on it, you get 35.19 units.
She.
I mean, that's Chee-wee-wees. What do you think? Should we do a fifth of a unit or half a unit? How confident are we?
Go Bear, go home is 305. We gotta go at least half.
We're going half a unit on it. We're doing half a unit on it. Cool. Love that. Gonna screenshot that one so that way we don't lose track of that bet. And I mean, that's that for that one. So without further ado, folks, before we put together any of our underdogs bets, before we call it a wrap, we do have a couple of parlays that we put together before the show. Nano, I'll let you take the lead, my guy. Tell the people about your bet here.
Let's go. Appreciate you, brother. We got my parlay coming in hot. This is what I'm considering my underdogs, okay? Because we got plus money across the board here, which means we're talking dogs, baby. I'll start at the top. Walter Walker, plus odds, plus 110 with the money line. I think there's a path for victory here. I do think he is the brother that will beat the other brother, the other Tafa brother. I think he's tougher than Tafa. I think he's going to find a way to get it done. Tied to Ivasa, Shoey Vasa. Hey, man, that could have been plus 500. I would have been taking that. Never going to bet against my boy. He's going to find a way to get it done. He's going to find a shoe. He's going to find a beer. And he's going to be tied Shoey Vasa once more. Last but certainly not least, just taking the Grizzle vet here, okay? I do acknowledge Carlos Prates might be a legitimate nightmare. And I will be extremely sad if and when this breaks my one unit that can turn into 22.6. But I'm going with the old dog, okay? I know she may be eyeing the young cat, but that ain't the old bull, okay? This bull knows some shit. He ain't taking no shit, all right? And that ain't no bull. So give me the leech, Li Jing Liang. All together, plus 2163, baby. 2 thumbs up. It has the official Jive Turkey Nano approval. Let's go.
Wow. Wow. I mean, with that being said,
Thank you
I'm
very
just gonna jump right in. I'm just gonna jump right in here, Elvis Presley. Thank you very much. These are my parlays for UFC 305, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sitting with us and spending a Thursday evening with yours truly. Now, without any further ado, we got Tai Tuivasa. That's right, guys. The Shoey Vasa himself, which you'll see us on the socials doing sometime in the very, very near future here, folks. Plus 180. Money line. We got Stevie Ursig, a.k.a. Stevie 6. The guy Man, the myth, the legend, Nano. You know what the fuck we're talking about here. I mean, whether you're an MMA anomaly, a Jive Turkey, or somewhere in between, you gotta know Stevie Ursig. He's gonna get the fucking W. Now, minus 175. Obviously, Vegas is clued in onto it too. But I digress. Maybe next time we'll get it before the odds swing. Drickus Du Plessis moving into the third and final leg of this three-legger. We got DDP money line minus 102. Look, guys, I just simply think that the man is the real king of Africa. He gets it done. He's the man. He's a myth. He's a legend. For a fucking reason here, folks. Vegas was clued into it. Minus 102. Nano knows what I'm talking about. I can tell. I can see it. I can feel it in my loins. I mean, he's saying Izzy, but I just don't believe it. And look, I'll be real with you. I know it's not as shiny. It's not as special as his. You're going to win about half as many units. And that's okay. Because sometimes we don't unload the gas tank. And instead, we let them unload theirs. We take a step back and we land the counter left. Right? That's why we got these plus 771 odds, 771 odds here. 1 unit to win 8.71. Nano. I hope you're fucking ready, brother. We're putting a shot on this one. Mine's gonna fucking take it. We are back.
I like it. Definitely like yours more than mine. I ain't gonna
stop
lie.
it. Yours is good, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like looking at yours, Walter Walker, I do really like. I'm not gonna lie to you. Tai Tuivasa, I mean, come on, he's on mine too. Li Jing Liang is it's the only one where I'm kind of weird on it.
I might be cashing out.
I was gonna say you might, and the thing is, like, you're at more than double the units of me. You're at 22 versus 8.7. So, man.
Yeah, I might be hedging that one offline.
You might just want to cash that one out right away, and then count your losses on the follow uppers,
and then redistribute. We'll see.
Yep.
It's gonna be a fun one though. Y'all tune in, check it out this weekend. Make sure you spend some time to relax, spend some time with your loved ones, spend some time to do something healthy. You know, break a sweat, do some. Maybe you wouldn't normally do. Get outside your comfort zone. But most importantly, watch these fights, y'all. Invite some friends over. Split the cost. Make it a little easier. And enjoy. Sit back and enjoy the show. Get some popcorn. Get your popcorn ready. It's going to be a blast.
It's going to be a fucking good one, man. It is going to be a good one. So with that being said, folks, we're going to hold off from placing any extra bets on the underdogs. It's obviously been a long work week, so we are going to go ahead and call it. But we appreciate each and every one of you folks for tuning in. We appreciate each and every one of you for listening to us yap at the jaw and talk about mixed martial arts here. And more than anything, we just appreciate you as people. So if you could do us a favor, though, please like, comment, subscribe, smash that bell for notifications if you're on YouTube. And no matter what platform you're on, please make sure that after the live show is done, you leave comments, you rate, you review, all that good stuff. It really, really helps with all the algorithms. And Lord knows that we bow down to the algorithms. So please, folks, make sure you do all that good stuff. But above all else, the one thing that we really like to say and put forward in our show is that we hope you do one thing above all else. Even if you don't subscribe, like, comment, smash that bell for notifications, we hope that you keep on going and you keep on growing, folks. And we'll see you next week. Same time, same place.
You've been listening to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. As you may have been able to tell, we dig the MMA, and our passion is to dive deep into the upcoming fights, give you our expert breakdowns, and help you make sense of all the chaos that is the fight game. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, make sure to find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at MMAnomaly. Be cool, and we'll see you next time.